This opportunity to say you're looking at one of the best unproduced artists in a country that is actually full of quite slithering people that commit crimes on each other all the time, and what you read in the newspaper you only know the half of. If my background's anything to go by, you should take an example out of my book and go, this is a person that was pushed to the very edges, not only by civilians but authorities. And when you see people having psychotic episodes, whatever age, in America, UK, then you should take leaves out of people's books that have been pushed to the edge, but they have Christianity and they manage against their better nature to forgive all that people do. And it's because of Christianity and Honopopo. You don't really. I mean, forgiveness is a funny thing. It's like you just forget those people. You don't. You just go, oh, 2012. And if you've got certain philosophies and ways of handling things, you can handle it better than actually going in and killing people. Apparently people aren't as well equipped to cope with such wrongs against them, and they just go around with anger and it gets violent. So I mean, best unproduced artist you're looking at, and this is a rap that I thought I lost yesterday. I'm really screwing about it because it took ages to transcribe something off a Sony Ericsson that I wrote when I was learning to be a bus driver. And it's like, oh, I could power it up, so it took me ages to write something. This isn't this. This is what I wrote yesterday. It's sort of like it's put into bed a time and place where people were persecuting me and penalising me, and it was like I was getting some treatment. I couldn't make any sense of it. And you have to eventually, like, the way to actually healing yourself is taking some of the blame on Homopopo, even though you don't expect people to trespass or cross those boundaries, because you're not the sort of person that does it to other people. So, you know, when you are meek, you should inherit the earth, because you walk around in a trusting state, in a depressed state. People trespass you at your lowest ebbs when they don't even hear your words and stuff happens, and it gets to such a point where there's nothing left, and that's rock bottom. Been there, done that, got the t-shirt. I've got some boundaries, but sometimes after losing this book yesterday, I cast assumptions on the people that I've met, acquaintances that I don't know. They say it takes 3 years to get to know someone, and that's spending a lot of time with them. You can meet people over a period of 3 years and not know them, and so then you lose a piece of work. And then it just reminded me that it's hard to be out in public and you have a lot to bring forward, and you need to be more careful. You are a VIP. Just because people in muggy industries are promoting anger in radio and worse stuff, they're not promoting, like, it's all right to rap and say things like I'm about to, and you'll go, is this a good person or a bad person? This is the human spectrum of emotions. It's acknowledging it, and then it's saying, oh, do you want to bring forward an artist that's gone through more than most other people and they can still get over it? Should have been. Anyway, real talk. Real talk. When I couldn't keep my shit together, case of overflow of unclever, couldn't weather the external madness, no sense of identity. Everyone was out to challenge me, undress, like they wanted to steal my keys to my star. Provocation, confess, reached in, beast best. Free for all, take girl whose subconscious secretly knows she rules. I vocally stripped her down to a grade A fool, quietly getting upset by so much punishment for this heaven sent. All they did for time, meant for opulence luxury, was stall, stall, stall. What was mine for me, so cruel. So I'd sit at many a bench, write a vent, rather than show just how bent, out of shape universe present as a bunch of muggy, thieving apes. Making me sweat, hate, purely for the fact my time, lose or foul, win or succeed, was tainted by some lowlife directing my unbeknownst sex tape, mock crimes. Felt more like snuff when the authorities for no reason started getting unprofessional rough. Hang tough. That's all I had. That's all I could do. Hang tough. Like my artist presence was crushed. To not me states. Anger, short fuse, frustrate. Unlike This Is Me tune. This is me. They tried to box me into the wrong track. Authentic self-compromise, casting false presumptions on my identity in their lack. So exclusive, idealistic, was watching my back. Can't relax. Avrils, lean, hot property. Yeah, baby, you're fine. In the land of the damned. Compromised, tried, materialised, girls embodying the gods, the master plan. I'll do what I said I'd do, jump on the choo-choo. Not a single soul can pull you off this soul train. Make anything in a false cash outfit look insane. It's alright, against my better nature. I forgave, took some of the blame. Honopopo. It's alright, I forgave. Against my better nature, I forgave and took some of the blame. When it comes to drinking and certain things, I realise just how a bigger game that is for manipulation. People with their body language, subconscious mind triggering. Once you learn all the psychological clues, you can see into their disease. They're just out to try and manipulate your happiness state. They're out to try and manipulate the artist. When you're pissed, you can't relax because they're just looking for any opportunity to get you in their cuffs and fuck with your wrists. Give you nerve damage for more than 6 months, and they haven't managed to pay out in compo. But they know they were in the wrong though. Did you get all of that? Should I read it back slowly? Because yeah, basically you're dealing with a spectrum when you're trying to transmute emotions. Like, to keep artists down of a certain validity is not in the best it's not in the best interest of the universal collective, the one that knows exactly how defective people are. Illegal, illicit things called alcohol, it is the gateway drug, and a lot of people do partake in the gateway drug and are presented with other things at various junctures throughout their life. Everything's a learning curve, and you are learning throughout all of it. Like, at the age of 30, I was making schoolgirl errors because I'd tried to spliff for the first time as a single woman, and you're not trusting people for 5 minutes, and they're literally taking your whole lit, like, oh, I got so much, I'm trying to bring my talent to the table. They're taking it and destroying it for a decade because you need time to readjust and lick those wounds. And like I say, another one of my raps, you're licking wounds, your own personal wounds, and then the authorities are just bastardising you on the street because you're taking the bait to go to a unity march to film it. God, that sounds good, yeah. You know, I'm getting shit up, and then they're doing more damage. And it's like, why are they doing damage? Because they're threatening you with kidnap walking down the street as a lone woman. They're harassing, intimidating and threatening you, and you are stupid enough to respond like a sane person under the influence, like fuck, buck, beep, beep, beep. But then it causes nerve damage. It makes you depressed to the inch of your life because you go to court for it, for just gobbing off, and it goes down as race or religious aggravated words and writing. So they choose all this stuff wisely just to get at people. And then that's on your CRB, and then you're depressed for years, and then you lose family loved ones, and then you meet somebody that's just baiting you off to them, and they're using like some industrial plant flus to basically abuse you by arresting you in plain clothes at airports and on holidays, and they're just trying to crush all the time. And you go, well, where am I taking this? Because I'm sick of being handled in that way, rough. It does start to feel like a snuff tape. Are you doing it because some other abusive muggy ape like did a sex tape or this or this or this? Well, that's what I'm pretty much sure that the industry is surrounded by lower end malevolence, basically. And if they see something that is like a threat to their which is worse than grime, it's just like, you have class systems in the world, right? You have people that are classy that would never do this or do that. When you like talk about things that might have happened to you potentially, people go, that's CCTV, and you go, no, it's creepy as fuck, and the world's become creepy as fuck over a very quick amount of time thanks to little toys and people's online presence. And is like, what, when we look at people that either go psychotic and start stabbing people, or we look at people that go, what's happening to the state of world? Well, it's a whole bunch of hedonism that really isn't getting addressed by any artist. If you really look at it, they're just sort of like feeding into Radio 1, even feeds into the hate now with like, you waste of space, you this, you that, and feeds into those veins of control like slavery, this or this. I don't need anybody to tell me that I'm the most opulent, abundant, luxurious person on the planet, because I know I am. I'm the most privileged person because I've always had a penchant for self-mastery and Tai Chi and all the intellectual philosophy. So there's not a richer person in the limelight. I'm just the most rich person not in the limelight, you know. And it's a shame because everybody's losing out, because they do need people to actually go, I understand your pain, but there's no like violence that was where I start when I started. That was what I was tackling straight off the cuff. So why is the bit rough at the bottom of the barrel?